Express versus Happy. I guess on one hand, the question wouldn't be Express versus Happy, it'd be Express versus Fastify, since I think Happy is kind of fallen out of favor. I guess Happy is probably going to be stable because I suppose that the idea is that Walmart needs it for themselves, for Walmart Labs, and so they will probably continue to work on it, and that's good. I think it's always good when something is namespaced. You got at Happy. I think there's one other organization they use for a lot of the modules, so that's good because it tells you that there's a community of people that really care about it. And being stale isn't necessarily bad. I mean, Express is dead, and it still works pretty well. If you use @root async router, then you can have a good experience with Express. But the thing that I like about Express is that it's a very thin layer on top of the node HTTP. They present it in I think, a terrible light, meaning in their own documentations, they take all these little one-line shortcuts to make Express more complicated than it ought to be, so that, oh, the example's only 3 lines long. Look, here's an entire web server in 1 line. It's kind of stupid, right? We can copy and paste 5 lines and that can be a web server, and that's not something ridiculously hard. But anyway, that's the thing that's detrimental about Express. But in general, it's very light in terms of what they're building on top of Node. There's a few useless abstractions, but in many, if not most cases, it's one-to-one between standard Node HTTP and Express. And at the very least, you can easily use standard Node HTTP from Express. And that's what I tend to do because I don't like useless abstractions. I don't like little function helpers, chainable function helpers that, I mean, it's just not that hard for me to hit tab, I like Express. When it comes to Fastify, the thing about Fastify is that, like Happy, I guess it's a little bit better than Happy from my opinion in terms of Fastify is a little bit more easy to work with at the node HTTP level. Happy seems to be a little bit more difficult. And there's something to be said for making a clean break and saying, we're going our own way. I do that plenty. But I'm not sold on it. If you've got a great talk that you would like to share with me that I could watch, I love watching presentations on this type of stuff where they really go into the philosophy. I could potentially buy into it. But as of right now, I just keep on going back to Express because Express is, although it's got a bajillion dependencies, which I hate, it's kind of the simplest thing. And it's the easiest to reason about. It matches most closely with the Node HTTP module. Now, don't get me wrong. The Node HTTP module has a lot of crap in it. Somebody rewriting everything in their own stack from scratch, I can't begrudge them for it because it's actually a kind of a good move in many ways. But I find the ergonomics of Express to be quite nice. And I find, although, yes, the advanced features of some of the other ones are nice, it's just Express is simple. And the way that you can do routing in Express, I don't know how Happy encourages you to do routing, but you can do very simple routing in Express, and I like that.